That's right, people. Midweek Premier League football is back. We've got 2 game weeks of football in the space of one. I'm absolutely buzzing. Can't wait to see that. Obviously, the closer to Christmas we get, the more Premier League football we see on our television screen. So buzzing for that. But we've got 20 Premier League games all squeezed into one episode of Premier League Predictions. And I thought, I can't have one person do 20 predictions on their own. So I thought, who is the best celebrity couple I know? And this is who I came up with.
Hi, I'm Tom and I'm a Chelsea fan.
Hi, I'm Fern and I'm an Ipswich fan.
I've known Will for quite some time now. I went to school with him and I went travelling. And one of my favourite moments with him was when he ended up in Sydney Hospital after a night out. I'm sure that you'll come across it one day in a Q&A. Right, on to the predictions.
That is right. Tommy and Fern are going to be my guests for this week. Just to clear it up, Game Week 13 in the Premier League is going to be between Tuesday and Thursday, and Game Week 14 will be between Saturday and Monday. But yeah, 20 Premier League games to look forward to in the next 7 days. I'm buzzing, can't wait. And let's get into some picks. All right, to start off this mad week of football, we've got Wolves at home against Chelsea. Wolves were really disappointing against us. We snuck home 3 points. Thank you, Anwar. But yeah, I think Raul Jimenez is a big miss. Podence and Neto look good, but yeah, goals are going to be their issue. Chelsea struggled again as well against Everton, which was a bit of a shock. I think Lampard kind of maybe went with the wrong system. They missed Ziyech big time. But I think Pulisic coming back hopefully will play 90 minutes on Tuesday. That'll be a big addition for them. And I'm actually going to say Chelsea are going to win this one. Wolves 0, Chelsea 2.
It's Wolverhampton Wanderers versus Chelsea, and I'm going to go for 2-0 Chelsea.
Then we've got Manchester City against West Brom as the other game on Tuesday night. I was actually really pleasantly surprised with West Brom. I know they didn't get any points against Newcastle, but I thought they actually played quite well. A moment of magic kind of got taken away from them at the end by Newcastle, but that's how it is in the Prem. So yeah, unlucky for them, but I think they're getting better. Man City were really, really poor actually against Man United. Didn't show them any interest. Just looked like, I don't know, they were there just to kick a football around. No intent going forward, but can't see that happening 2 games in a row. Man City are too good. And I'm going to say Manchester City are going to win 3-1.
It's Man City versus West Brom, and I'm going to go, City, they drew last week, but I'm going to go 3-0 against West Brom.
To Wednesday's game, and we have Arsenal against Southampton. What do you say about Arsenal anymore? I think Arsenal are a team that fans like to take the piss out of, but it's just not even funny anymore. It's sad to watch. A big club like Arsenal just struggling so poorly. Aubameyang finally scored, unfortunately in the wrong net. Yeah, times are tough there. Discipline's gone out the window. People are calling for Arteta to be gone, even though at the start of the year they said he was the saviour. I think he's the man. I just think their players are not good enough. I think they probably need to just suck it up and go for a transition phase and blood the likes of Saka, Maitland-Niles, Joe Willock. I think that's got to be their way forward, unfortunately. Southampton, on the other hand, are a complete opposite. They're going really, really well. Hasenhüttl's got his men in order. They prove week in, week out that they're not a one-man team with Danny Ings. Che Adams, put my hands up. He's doing a job, so fair play to him. And yeah, they look really good. I'm actually going to say it's going to continue. Arsenal are going to struggle. Southampton are going to continue to play well. Arsenal 0, Southampton 2.
Arsenal versus Southampton. Ooh, Arsenal at home. Southampton are on top form. I'm actually going to go 2-1 Southampton because Arsenal have just been shocking recently.
Then we have Leeds-Newcastle. Leeds did the Leeds and lost again. And Newcastle, yeah. I said obviously previously that West Brom played quite well, but Newcastle did really well. Jacob Murphy came on late on and absolute peach of a delivery. And Dwight Gale came back to haunt his old club with a banging header to put it in the top bins, 2-1. I like Newcastle. I've said it, I like Steve Bruce. Wasn't a massive fan when he was at Villa because they don't play great attacking football, but it does the job in the league. And I actually think that's going to continue this week. I think Leeds are going to lose at home. I'm going to go Leeds 0, Newcastle 1.
Leeds United versus Newcastle. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw.
Then we got Leicester against Everton. Now this is a really tough one for me. Two teams that I really like to watch. Obviously Everton without James Rodriguez have lacked a bit of creativity in that number 10 sort of role. But they dug really deep to get that win against Chelsea on the weekend. So fair play to them. And then we've got Leicester, who absolutely blew Brighton away. Vardy and Maddison on fire. And that's what we want to see as English football fans. Obviously Vardy not in the English setup anymore, but that's what you want to see. You want to see homegrown talent tear up in the Premier League, and that's what they did on the weekend. And I think it's going to be a cracking game. I've gone for a bit of a rogue prediction. I'm going for a 5-goal thriller. I'm going to say Leicester 3, Everton 2. But do not bet on that because it's probably going to be a 0-0 now that I said that.
Everton versus Leicester. Leicester on top form. I mean, Everton beat us last week, unfortunately, but I still think Everton will have the better. I'm going to go for 3-1 Leicester. I mean, Leicester will have the better.
Fulham against Brighton. This is a tricky one as well. Fulham against Liverpool. Wow. Unbelievable. They were class from minute 1 to minute 90. How they didn't get the 3 points, I have no idea. They absolutely deserved it. They were quality, worked really hard, looked good going forward. I couldn't have enough praise for them and what Scott Parker did on the weekend. Really unfortunate they didn't get anything. Brighton, obviously, like I've just mentioned, got blown away against Leicester. But I still think they're a good team. I don't think they're a bottom 3 team. And this is a really big one for Fulham. It's all good and well playing good football at home, against Liverpool at home. But these games against Brighton, these are the games, if you want to stay in the league, you've got to win at home. So, big one for both teams. And I'm actually going to say the point's going to get shared again. I'm going to say 1-1.
Fulham versus Brighton. Again, Fulham won last week, if I'm correct. And I'm not sure how Brighton did, but they haven't been playing too badly. So I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. Then
we have Liverpool against Spurs. This is the game of the week. The game of the game week. Cracking game. Liverpool obviously really struggled against Fulham. Don't know what happened there. Kind of gave me sort of memories of how they played against us earlier in the year. Just didn't look like Liverpool at all. And then Spurs. That was a tough one, really. Palace played well. But Spurs just kind of looked a little bit out of sorts in the second half. Maybe even lucky to have got a point, to be honest. But, again, I think maybe a point against Palace isn't the end of the world away from home. They'll take that. And it's first versus second. Huge game here. Klopp versus Mourinho. It's going to be who can battle each other out, who can sniff out each other's tactics early enough. But I think Liverpool are still the better team. No matter how well Spurs are playing, no matter how well I appreciate Mourinho, I think Liverpool are the better team. I think they'll just shade this one. So I'm going to say Liverpool 2, Spurs 1.
Liverpool versus Tottenham. Now this is going to be a good game. They both were held to a point last week. And I think this week, I'm hoping, because I'm a Chelsea fan, they'll also be held to a point each. So I'm going to go for 0-0. West Ham versus Crystal Palace. I'm going to go for 2-1 Crystal Palace.
On Thursday, we've got Villa against Burnley off the back of the 3 points against Wolves. Absolutely buzzing. You could have probably heard me screaming the other day against Wolves with that last-minute penalty, El Ghazi. Outrageous. I love that. It was huge 3 points for us. Back home against Burnley. We haven't been great at home, but Burnley haven't been great either. I think El Ghazi, not just because he scored the penalty, but Traore was useless. So I think El Ghazi will come in for Traore. Grealish, fresh out of court, so he'll be looking to bounce back. But yeah, I think we're definitely the better side. I'd like to think we win, but our home form hasn't been great. But I'm going to say Villa 2, Burnley 0.
And now on to Villa versus Burnley. Both had wins against good clubs last week. Villa against Wolves, Burnley against Arsenal. And I think Villa at home, they'll get the win. And I think they're going to win 2-0.
Sheffield United against Manchester United. Sheffield United are really struggling still, 1 point. It's tough to know where any of their points are going to come from. If you can't score, you're not going to win games. So, yeah, they're struggling. United, they're a really strange team as well. They got a point against Man City, which if you look at it just individually, it's probably not that bad a point. But again, they really didn't create much at all. Rashford's been kicked out the fancy team, but he'll no doubt score 3. But yeah, I think a must-win game for United. Not because it's of where we are in the league, but just because if you want to be top 4, if they want success this season, which they probably see as Champions League football, then you have to be winning these games against teams that are struggling like Sheffield United are. But then again, on the Sheffield United sake, they're at home. They see a team that haven't played great, probably have a chance that they think they can get something here. But I think United will take the 3 points. I'm going to say Sheffield 0, Manchester United 2.
And Sheffield United versus Manchester United. I hope Sheffield United win 5-0, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think I'm kind of praying for a 1-1 draw.
That's game week 13 done. I hope you're still with me after me nattering on. For game week 14, we're just going to zoom through. We're just going to bang them all out, predictions. None of me waffling about what I think. But yeah, let's get into them. Palace against Liverpool, 1-1.
The first match is Crystal Palace versus Liverpool.
I'm going to go 2-1 to Liverpool.
Saints against Man City, 2-1 Man City.
Okay, Southampton versus Manchester City.
1-1.
Everton against Arsenal, 3-0 Everton.
Everton, Arsenal.
Arsenal 2-0.
Newcastle against Fulham, 2-1 Newcastle.
Newcastle, Fulham.
Fulham 1-0.
Brighton against Sheffield United, 2-0 Brighton.
Brighton versus Sheffield.
Sheffield 2-1.
Spurs against Leicester, 2-1 Spurs.
Tottenham versus Leicester.
Tottenham 2-0.
Man United against Leeds, 1-1.
Manchester United versus Leeds.
Man U 2-1.
Derby Day, West Bromwich Albion against Aston Villa. Come on the Villa boys. West Brom 1, Villa DOS.
West Brom versus Aston Villa.
Aston Villa 2-0. Because our grandpas support Aston Villa.
And Latham.
And Leeds.
Burnley against Wolves, Burnley 1-0.
Burnley versus Wolves.
Wolves 1-0.
Chelsea against West Ham, cracking London game. Chelsea 2, West Ham United 2.
And Chelsea versus West Ham.
West Ham 2-0.
No.
No joking. Chelsea 2-1.
Okay, awesome. Cheers.
Thank you very much, guys, for watching. This is probably my last Premier League predictions video before Christmas. So I hope you guys have an amazing Christmas. Look after yourselves. Enjoy spending time with the family. But yeah, that's it. Hopefully we can get some good picks in. Cut the gap to the guest leaderboard. And yeah, that's it. Merry Christmas, people. Oh, and also, I forgot to mention. 300 subs. Thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate you so much. I did say if I get 300 subs, I'd bring out a Q&A. So this Sunday, after whatever game that is, maybe kind of in between the Spurs, Leicester and Man U Leeds games, my Q&A will be out. Thanks for sending in your questions on Instagram. I'll get answering those. But cheers, everyone. See you in a bit.
Okay. Hello, I'm Tom.
I'm Fern. Oh my god, is he on?
Good. No, that's not going in.